What's your next one?
So I mentioned briefly 8th Grade. Another coming-of-age movie that's a little more comedy is Booksmart. Booksmart is Olivia Wilde's directorial debut. It is, from start to finish, fantastic. Not as good as 8th Grade, mind you.
Nope.
But the fact that I'm even listing them in the same sentence is a damn good sign.
Yes.
The soundtrack is fantastic. All the characters are super interesting and, like, continue to be interesting throughout the movie. And each character is its own different type of person. There's not one character that's the same as another. And they're all kind of fully fleshed out characters. Even ones that are just kind of like side characters, they have a lot of depth to them without ever being, like, way too much detail to distract you from the core of the film. The strongest part, absolutely, is the relationship between our two leads. It is 100%. Interesting and engaging, and I was going to say enchanting, but I don't know if that's right.
No, but there are, like, revelations with these characters that when they hit, you're just like, oh my god, like, what? Yeah. And, like, the way that they're, like, just even their, like, micro-acting on their faces and stuff is just, like, so on point that it feels so natural and so real. One thing I love about this movie, because I also just saw this, is something I just haven't noticed in other comedies or movies of this type. Because I don't even like to say that this is like a 100% comedy, because at the end it's
way more comedy than something like 8th Grade is.
Oh, totally. But it's not just like it's more drama though than Superbad is.
Absolutely, it's like a good middle ground between those two.
Yeah, but
it's also very different.
But what this movie does that I really like is it, with its jokes, you see the jokes, like, play out in, like, the depth of the field, like, out of frame, or not out of frame, but out of focus.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting to see that, like, aspect and dynamic with, like, the joke, like, you seeing part of it take place up front, and then you're seeing also, like, it, like, come to fruition in the back. I really like. And then also you just see, like, there's one scene close to the end that is just, like, the scene, I think, of the movie. And the stuff that's...
Yeah. And the character work, especially in this, there are certain characters you meet early on that are, like, just seen as jokes and that work as just jokes, that they then give, like, actual depth because they're all humans. Like, it's really, really well written and, like, insanely well structured, shot, like, gorgeously.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good. And I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. This really swept me off my feet and took me away on a magic ride.
Now, the thing that kills me, though, is, like, there are some things that are a little... that I do have issues with this movie.
Yes, and I definitely know what you're talking about for it. There are a couple, like, there are, like, one or two characters that don't work. And are just kind of annoying whenever they're there, and they stay a little bit too long. And there are certain scenes that are like, this is not the best. But overall, it's fantastic.
Yes, 100%.
And that wraps up that review. If you want to hear more reviews and other snippets from our full monthly show, go ahead and click the box over here. Or you can also check out our weekly mini episodes in the other box.
Yeah, and make sure to hit the circle in the middle to subscribe.